there's an SUV price war brewing.
Yeah.
Tushar, two interesting announcements last night from Tata Motors and M&M, and nothing more exciting than an SUV price war. Tell us what's happening.
And it's not a coincidence, Tamanna. Good morning, everybody. So we are looking at an inventory of about 2 months, in excess of 2 months. People we spoke with yesterday indicated that the inventory levels in this auto space, car space, is about 65 to 70 days. That's a pre-festive season stocking level that's already being seen 3 months in advance. So we know how much it's going to, so it's not a coincidence that Tata Motors and Mahindra both are slashing the SUV prices. So last year there were no takers for, so to speak, the small cars from Maruti. This year we are seeing in the last few months there are no takers for even SUVs.
It's surprising, right? Because
Which
India seems to be an SUV market.
Yeah, so we are graduating towards that. About 60% of the volumes are now coming from SUVs, monthly volumes, but that even is now seeing a slowdown. It can be the impact of a high base effect. Also, cars are getting costlier day by day. So there is a slower uptake of cars despite discounts coming in, despite offers coming in at the dealer level. So despite those moves, we are still looking at inventory, and that fits well with the discounts that have been offered by Tata Motors and Mahindra. People we spoke with yesterday also indicate that while this is at the higher level right now, around the 20 lakh mark, both Tata Harrier and Safari are the large SUVs. Both AX7 XUV700 is a large SUV, but that may even actually trickle down to the compact SUV space as well, which almost is, again, within the SUV space is about 50% of the market, which is the 7 to 10 lakh, 7 to 12 lakh bracket. The average selling price of a car right now is about 11 lakhs. So, you know, that's
across all models.
Across models, it's 11 lakhs. Unsold stock is at about 7 lakh plus units in stockyards at this point of time. That translates to about 70,000 crores of unsold stock lying with dealers.
Tushar, just for perspective, when you talk about 2 months inventory, so that how higher is that from what is the typical inventory build-up? Is this an unusually high inventory build-up number? Is it average? Just give us that, relative perspective.
Yeah. So essentially, dealers are comfortable with anything which is a little over a month, so that they can offload it as far as demand comes in. This is not natural. This is extraordinary, so to say, because this is the levels that we see before the festive season. That is in the month of September, at the end of September. Because you remember, dealers are stocking up for the extra demand that comes in during the festive season months, which OEMs may not be able to provide with their production volumes or dispatches in the month of October and November. So those levels are being seen now. 65 to 70 days inventory levels is what we see at the end of September, not in the month of May or June. So this is the reason why the inventory is a big concern at this point of time.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, let's get in a voice on this, external voice on this as well. Venkesh Gulati, chairman at FADA Academy and Research, joins in. Mr. Gulati, good having you. Thanks for joining in. Do you find, or let's say 3 months ago, if you were told that the inventory levels on the SUVs would be about 2 months or 70 days, would that have caught you by surprise, or was this anticipated?
Obviously, anytime it is a 2 months inventory, it will be caught by surprise because it's not a regular affair. So like Tushar very rightly said, a pre-festive preparation of 60 days or 70 days is what a dealer wants to have and a manufacturer wants us to have. And we are happy to have at that time. But if you talk about N-3 months or 4 months, that's not what we look at any period of an year. So practically it starts, what happens is like 35 days is what inventory we look at. And if the festive is in October, so July is around 5-10% take, and then August 20%, and September reaches the level when we say that it's 60 days inventory. So it slowly crops up in 3 months time, which this period has come up very, very early. We were expecting not such high inventory. We were expecting that because of not having marriage season this May and June, it will be a challenging thing and inventory will go up to around 40-45 days. But coming at 70 odd days was not an expectation, and more than a surprise, it's a very, very big challenge and a concern for dealer fraternity.
Venkesh, hi, good morning. Tamanna here. Just trying to understand if you expect this price war to extend. We've seen two players and you know, the expectation is it goes into the compact SUV. Do you see that happening? What is your sense?
I'll not say this is a price war. Obviously, this is a reaction to one UP hybrid thing also.
Or is it?
This is a reaction to some models which were high in stock in dealers' inventory and not selling. So if you see XUV 700, even till today, AX5 is in shortage. The customers are waiting, but AX7 is in demand. So somewhere the price matching was not there, which Mahindra has done for. Even Tata has done only for two products which are very low in demand at theirs, and dealers are having more than even more than 70 days inventory of those specific models. But yes, I feel this is the reaction of high inventory what OEMs have started now giving. So by even in August, I feel you'll see everybody coming into giving schemes to liquidate stocks, because such high stocks carrying for a month or two is still, I'll not say viable, it's still manageable by a dealer, but it goes up to 4 months because this started from May. May was bad, we reached around 50, 55. June and we reached around 70. So this is already started a month back, and a dealer can't continue carrying such high stocks at a such wafer thin margins what we have when we sell the vehicles. So automatically to liquidate this stock, all the OEMs will have to come down to the market and increase these schemes and all that. These two was price cut, but you will see major schemes coming in, major discounts coming in from the manufacturer and the dealers too, to liquidate these exact variant which is more in stock as comparative to other variants.
Mr. Gulati, Tushar here. Good morning.
Yeah,
So,
Tushar, good morning.
Good morning, sir. So, what is the way out of it? We are seeing the inventory build up. Do you think the OEMs should reconsider their production schedules so to bring down the inventory levels at the dealership level? We are seeing the mismatch already. I mean, dispatches were higher by about 2% last month, but retails were down by about 8%. So 10% gap in just 1 month. So do you think do car makers need to realign their production cycles, so to speak?
So Tushar, basically it's law of economy. If the demand is not there, you will have to reduce the supply. But if a manufacturer thinks by reducing the supply, the cost, or you can see the efficiency loss what they are having is not matching, they continue to not reduce the supplies and push the inventory towards dealer. And when such a situation happens, they have to again support us from somewhere interest or rotation of funds, and then in turn even discounts to the customer. I feel the best thing to do is, as per demand, the supply should be retuned. I don't know why the manufacturers are not working in that. And practically, like you said, the high base. If you remember, the last year we were doing around 3.2 to 3.5 production. This year, that production capacity has increased to 4 lakh and more. There are many manufacturers who are still increasing their production. I feel the only way out, because still we are sitting in July and the festive is in October, we're talking of 3 months more going. Unless and until OEMs reduce their production level or the capacity, or they go out so much so that the demand increases like festive for the coming 2 months, which I doubt will happen. These are the only two ways. They have to improve demand or reduce supplies, or else what will happen? The supply chain at the dealers will choke, and in turn it will affect the market.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Vinkesh Gulati there talking about the dealer side of it. And, you know, to be fair, Tushar, the dealers always have this slightly, you know, negative view, because they're the ones who are stuck with the inventory and feel the heat.
But at this point of time, it's also extraordinary circumstances. You're not looking at 2 months of inventory in the month of June. That's in a way that their worries are also warranted, so to speak. You do not want to be saddled with 70,000 crore of...
But it's also specific. So, see, what we are doing is we are relating this to the price cuts yesterday. They're two disparate items, which we are, of course, seeing in conjunction. But one important clarification from Vinkesh is it is on models that are not doing too well.
Yeah.
So, it's a mix of things. You're trying to push out stock, which is part of, you know, normal course of things. But I think also the fact that it's linked to what has happened in UP yesterday, and I just want to run a clip of a conversation I had yesterday exclusively with RC Bhargav after this order, and I think the big takeaway is that the industry, at least the domestic industry, is hoping that policy-wise there is also as much a push on hybrid vehicles instead of just EVs, and UP's decision could be the first step in that direction. Listen in.
Everybody in the country wants two things. One is that the pollution level, the greenhouse gases which create the global warming should be reduced, and we should meet our zero carbon credit. The second is that our dependence on foreign imported oil must be ended or at least minimized to the extent possible. And the policy of electric vehicles was brought in for both these objectives. But it has been realized that while electric vehicles are gradually getting into the customers' buying package, there are large amount of ICE, petrol and diesel vehicles which are being bought also. And they continue to pollute and they continue to consume oil. So if we want to achieve the objectives of reducing pollution and greenhouse gases and use of petrol, we must use other technologies in addition to electric vehicles to bring down the pollution from pure ICE vehicles. And the use of hybrid vehicles, the use of CNG, the use of biofuels are all means to do that. So I think the UP government has been, very proactive, very smart, and I think very commendable that they have realized that if the country is going to achieve its objectives of 70 and before that reducing imports, then it is necessary to encourage technologies other than only electric cars, because electric cars alone will not do the job. And that is the outcome of that realization is this policy.
Are you in conversation with any states or the central government to have a more permanent sort of relief for customers to choose hybrid vehicles? Because today the fact is it costs me more if I want to go hybrid.
We have been saying this for a long time that all technologies which are cleaner must be encouraged.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So I'm saying we're continuing to discuss this with the central government, with some of the state governments, that there is an alternative route than just pure electric to get to our goals, and that we must all look at what is practical and what will lead us of cleaner India faster.